Hi everyone, my name is Chelsea Swallow. This is my presentation for the Florida manatee, also known as the Trichechis manatus latirostris. This is AMU Science 130 and my professor is Felicetti. The introduction here would be the Trichechis manatus latirostris, also commonly known as the Florida manatee, the North American manatee, and sea cow. Unfortunately, I was not able to observe this mammal in person, but there are a lot of cool videos, such as one that I will show you at the end of this slide, just because of like harsh weather conditions and stuff that's been going on. I selected the Florida manatee because I've actually encountered one while playing in the ocean, and it was quite friendly. So, for me, that was an amazing experience. But I'm going to show you this video. Hope y'all like it. It's not. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's just a herd of manatees swimming past the paddleboarders. Now, I didn't get to experience a herd like that, but I was like able to just be able to touch one, and it just swam like right up to us. It's pretty cool, to be honest. So moving on, the foraging ecology, they are herbivores and they feed off a variety of plants that reside in the ocean. The Florida manatee can eat 10 to 15% of its body weight in plants alone per day. Although they do have teeth, they do not use them to eat. The teeth will regrow throughout their lifespan, but they just don't use them to eat. They use their lips instead, and it helps them to grab food and eat it all at the same time. Once the food is swallowed, it is digested through its digestive tracts and processes through their 147-foot length intestines. When they become full grown, that's about how long their digestive intestines become that's pretty huge. And that's why their stomach is so big too. During a I'm sorry, this is a reproductive ecology, and during the Florida manatee's reproductive life cycle, they can mate at any time of the year, and there are no specific mates they choose. It's not as cute as what penguins do for their mates, such as like going and grabbing the rock or the pebble and bringing it back to them. But I mean, hey, they get straight to business, so that's, I mean, that's pretty pretty straightforward. Once a mother reproduces, she can hold the baby for up to a year, and they tend to reproduce every 3 years. When the calf is born, it can weigh up to 70 pounds, and it has to be pushed to the surface by its mother for its first breath of air. Otherwise, it will die because it has to. The manatees, they have to have air, they have to breathe. The Florida manatee calf can also learn to swim in about an hour after birth. So I'm going to show y'all a video. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to show y'all a video of the baby and the mother. I'm not going to show you all the video, but the mother pushes the baby up to the
Guys, all head that way.
The baby gets its first breath, and it's pretty cool. It's coming up right here. And then SeaWorld actually rescued this
latched on by his mouth.
And
hanging straight.
helped him.
High side, high side.
They just monitor the baby to make sure everything's okay. It's pretty amazing. I would love to be a part of something like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another little video that I thought y'all might enjoy. The background of the Florida manatee was they were said to be endangered until recently. I read an article, a study was done, and they are classified unendangered anymore, which is pretty amazing. The manatee has paddle-like front limbs and spindle-shaped bodies. They also have a paddle-shaped tail, which helps them get around, and on average they weigh about 800 to 1,200 pounds. If they did not have their paddle-shaped to help them get around, they would most likely die because they wouldn't be able to swim to the surface or swim away from like the boats that cause them harm or like potentially kill them. Um, so that would be awful. So if their tail gets injured, then most likely they do pass, unfortunately. Another interesting physical feature are their whiskers. The whiskers are used as a sensory to help with various types of brain functions, including memory and decision making. Now their habitat. Their habitat is the Florida Peninsula, and they tend to stay where the water is tropical in temperature. The Florida manatee is a mammal, so naturally their habitat is an aquatic biome. Their ancestors are said to have been land, and then they came straight to the water. So now they are an aquatic biome, but their ancestors dating all the way back are actually land. So that's pretty big change. Speaking of ancestors, their evolution. The Trichechis monotus laterostris, it's pretty neat how their evolution works. Um, I'm gonna give y'all some visuals, but in the background of this slide, you can see like some of the different types of manatees that have changed like over the years. Um, and I just like in different like other different manatees, like the West Indian manatee is also on there. They look different, but they all are just basically the same in general. The Florida manatee's closest relatives are elephants, hyraxes, and aardvarks. The oldest known fossil dates back to 50 to 60 million years ago. Now, like I said, I was going to show you guys something that I thought was pretty cool, and it was just the different types of manatees. So we have the West Indian manatee, which you kind of see what that one looks like. You have the Amazonian manatee, and you can kind of see the difference in the faces a little bit, just a little bit on the bodies, and then yeah, just a little bit. And then the West African manatee, you could definitely see the difference here, like completely. It looks a lot bigger. And the dugong looks smaller to me, and then the tail is shaped differently. It's not rounded out. It actually looks like more like a dolphin's tail. And then we have the Steller sea cow, which I thought was it just looks really super weird. I would probably be scared of that if it came up to me. No, just being honest. And then I'm gonna show y'all a funny video that I thought you would enjoy. Now, the Florida manatee, when they're held in captivity, obviously they couldn't tell that the screen was there. But to me, I thought that was just a cute little funny video to add into the presentation. So I hope you enjoyed that. Their lineage is kingdom Animalia, phylum is Chordata, class is Mammalia, and order Sirenia, family is Trichidae. Chichidae. Chichidae, sorry. So some fun facts. These mammals are said to have evolved from sirenians, which were like mermaids that lured fishermen or others near water into the water and killed them. I don't know about you, but I think that I probably would not be lured into the water by some animal because that would kind of scare me a little bit. The Florida manatee also has a unique abnormality that helps aid them in their vision. It is an extra eyelid that allows them to see in the bright light or dim lights. Marine biologists actually call it a third eye. One other interesting fact is their ears are internally located behind the eyes instead of externally on the outer part of the body. Now, when you think of ears, you think of like on the outside, on the sides of the heads, stuff like that, which is pretty cool. So this is just a different mammal all around. Um, Here we come to the conclusion. The Trichechis monotus laterostris, known as the Florida manatee, is a mammal that are found in the peninsula areas of Florida. The manatee has its own way of adapting by using its flippers to get around, lips to eat, and a digestive tract to digest all of its food it consumes. The manatee has a life cycle where they mate and give birth to only one calf at a time and can live up to 60 years. Although they have teeth, they do not use them and can regrow them back throughout their lifetime. Their fossil record is very poor. one, and they're considered most like elephants, aardvarks, and hyraxes. Manatees date back about 50 to 60 million years, according to archaeologists. Lastly, manatees have an extra eyelid to help with their sight and ears located behind the eyes to help with their hearing. So the last thing is my works cited. There are little links there you can click on. You can go read these articles if you're interested in any of this stuff. Um, it's just overall, this mammal has like astonished me by reading into it and learning more about the facts of it and its lifestyle. I really, really enjoyed doing this presentation very much. So I hope y'all enjoyed it as well. Thank you.